When you open up an Excel 2007 document, you notice the top of the screen is completely changed from previous versions. So let's take a quick tour along the top and see what these changes are. First thing I'm going to look at is this little round button that has the Office logo on the inside, and that's very cleverly named the Office button. If I click on that, you'll see these commands that look very familiar because these are the commands that you would have found had you clicked on the File menu in previous versions. So if you come down here and mouse over, or when I say mouse over, what I'm talking about is you bring the cursor over an object, and you can see now that that command is highlighted. And if I come down here to open, not only is the command highlighted, but now I get a little description that says this is the open command, but also the shortcut on the keyboard would be Control plus the letter O. So for people who are handy with the keyboard shortcuts, that's kind of a neat thing to know. And again, down here, save, and that would be Control S. But you'll notice when I go to the next box down, the Save As box, you'll notice that there's a little arrow or a triangle pointing to the right. And anytime you see one of those little arrows or triangles, it tells you there's a great deal of information that's being hidden that you can find if you do a mouse over. So if I come down here to print, I can then come into my expanded menu, and I could either go to Print Preview, the Quick Print, or the Print selection. These are all things that are just pretty handy to have at your fingertips. And if I come back out here to where we were before, you'll notice that there are recent documents here, and these are all documents that I have used previously, and it allows me to call these up without having to go looking for them. So if I really need to have the pretest scores for graph 07, I could click on this and I would be able to open it up. I don't really need that right now. So let's just get off of this. And the next thing we're going to look at is the Quick Access Toolbar. The Quick Access Toolbar is really handy. Unfortunately, it's this absolutely tiny little menu up here on the top to the right of the Office button. The thing that you can do with this is that you can add icons that you will find to be handy. Now, I think the easiest way of doing this is to come over here to this little black arrow pull down menu. If I click on that, I get this customized quick access toolbar menu, and I come down here, and the best way to do this is go to more commands. And now you can search through every possible location in Excel and come up with any command you like. So for example, say that you needed to have something that was in the home tab. We'll talk about tabs in a minute. But you could find anything you wanted and that is a command in Excel and put it up where it's going to be easily accessed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, let's say I just need to delete sheet columns for some reason that's important for me to do. I'm going to click on that and highlight it, and you'll notice that if I come over here and click on the Add button, the Delete Sheet Columns button and description is over here on the Customized Quick Access Toolbar side of my little menu. Now, let's just say that, I'm really busy deleting columns, but I don't really need this delete sheet rows anymore. Well, if I highlight that, I can come over here and click on Remove, and that's gone. So this is a way that you can set it up to be really helpful for yourself. Let's go down here, click OK, and you notice up here now I have my Delete Sheet Columns icon on my Quick Access Toolbar. That's really handy. The rest of this business up here, this entire thing that goes left and right, where you would find menus from last year, this whole thing is called the ribbon. And the ribbon is made of several parts. And the first part that it is made up of, where these were menu titles before, these are now called tabs. And you can select on an item, and that makes the tab active, and you notice that there are commands below now that are activated. So if I click over here on the Home tab, the first group or section you'll find is the Clipboard group. So they decided that this might be a pretty common area that people would work with, and it pretty much is. And if you want to, you could come over here and click on the font group. Now, you've seen these little mini toolbars before. This is pretty common formatting. You can select your font or your font size, and here you can make the text bigger or smaller. These are all common font commands that you would use. If you wanted to, you come over here to one of these little downward pointing arrows, and this is called a launcher. And if you click on a launcher, what happens is that it gives you another dialog box or menus that you can pick from. And again, remember from the Office button that if you see one of those little arrows and point in a given direction, usually that's an indication that there's a lot more information available to you. So here we have a Format Cells menu here, and we can just click on these tabs and pretty much do any kind of formatting that we feel to be important in the various stages of our projects. If you come down on the left-hand side here, we're going to come down and we're going to see these items called sheets. And these sheets are indicated by tabs. And here we have very cleverly sheet 3, and then we have sheet 2, and then we have sheet 1. You could set up your information and title these sheets to make it a little more convenient. So all you have to do to rename a sheet is to double click on it, and you'll see that it gets highlighted. So this could be the name of a group or values or whatever you like. I could also do this. I could also point to the sheet name and right click on it, and what I can do is go up here to rename, and that's kind of handy. Depends on your personal preference. And another thing that's handy, if you wanted to, was you could actually color these tabs. So I'm going to right click on this and go up to tab color. And here I'm going to make the first tab color plutonium red. Now it doesn't look really exciting now, but if you come over here and click on the next one, you can see how this is very different. And for those of you who like to get organized like this could be kind of a handy thing. So you can rename these, you can color them as you see fit, and that's kind of a handy little thing to know. Right? That really can help you keep organized. In the meantime, I'm going to come over here, way over to the right side, and over here in the bottom right corner, you're going to find our zoom slider. If you wanted to, you could just click on the negative button, and you will decrease the view by 10 percentage points. If you click on the plus side, you will zoom in by 10 percentage points. And this slider gives you a little bit more leeway. Let's just say that you just had to have 96% of the zoom. Well, now you can. And this can be handy when you're moving around and trying to get the big picture, then go back and do some specific work. So that pretty much is the intro, and now we're going to move on to do some actual work.